Hi, I'm Brett Parker, multimedia specialist for Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery. And today we're focusing on Snakkidz, the nutritionist backed snack brand helping families simplify snack time with kid approved flavors that are certified organic, gluten free, non GMO, nut free, and school safe. Here to discuss this is Steve Weiss, co founder of Snakkidz. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Brett. It's great meeting you.
Can you tell us what inspired Snakkidz to create a healthier snack brand for kids?
Absolutely. So around the time right before COVID, I started taking more, understanding of what goes into our bodies and how it affects our mental and our physical performance. And so my son, a little over 2 years ago, was 6 years old. He was in kindergarten, and he came home from school with a word find where you look for hidden words. And as I'm looking at it, I notice it's like Hershey and all these large corporations that make not so good for you snacks. And it kind of just rubbed me the wrong way that we're giving this to kids in kindergarten when they're very impressionable, and that all the food that he was being served there is definitely not good for you. And I understand how that affects both your mental and physical performance, especially for kids as they're growing and getting bigger. So that kind of set off the catalyst of I want to make a change, I want to make something different. And I was in a very lucky, fortunate situation where my background has been in advertising and marketing for digital. And my cousins actually own a granola manufacturing company where they do private label. So we kind of had a conversation of like, hey, why don't we create something, but let's make something better for the kids. And so things that really stood out to me were, everything has seed oils from most processed foods into when you're going to restaurants. Why don't we use something with avocado oil, which is better for you and brain healthy? Let's make it lower sugar, right? There's no need to make it stocked with so much sugar. Kids will still enjoy it with less sugar. We'll still use the right ingredients. And then just organic, non-GMO ingredients. Then it's inclusive of being allergen free. So that's really where Snakkidz started.
Now, how does Snakkidz balance nutritious ingredients with tasty flavors that appeal to children?
That's a great question because, end of the day, you can make the most nutritious product out there, but if kids don't like it, no one's going to eat it, right? So we wanted to make sure that first and foremost, kids enjoyed it. And so it kind of goes back to what I just mentioned. We still use organic sugar, but we only have 5 or 6 grams in our bars compared to most competitors are over 10 grams. So we lower the sugar content while still making it taste great for kids. On top of that, we use actual real freeze-dried fruit. So in our Chunky Monkey, which is our banana chocolate, we use freeze-dried bananas. And our strawberry, we use freeze-dried strawberries. So you're still getting that taste of fruit, which kids love, with a little bit of sweetness, which makes the perfect healthy bar.
Now, why do you feel school safe and allergy conscious snacks are becoming more important for families today?
Absolutely. And I'm not sure the reason why, but if you look at the statistics, allergies across the board continue to rise. So in the US alone, there's over 30 million Americans that have a nut allergy. And then on top of that, there's gluten allergies, there's dairy allergies, and then some of the smaller ones like eggs and others. So one, we want to make sure we're inclusive of everybody. So, my son was in kindergarten or even preschool, you can't bring in snacks that have nuts or maybe it's a birthday party and some kids allergic to gluten. I wanted to make sure that we were inclusive for everybody. And at the same time, that gives retailers another opportunity where they're increasing their shelf space with more purchasers. So we thought about it from both angles of retail partners and also making sure consumers are able to enjoy our snack.
I wanted to touch on the relationship between a snack and the environment in which it's being consumed, because I would imagine Snakkidz is a good option for like summer road trips, sporting events, and other youthful activities. So, are those things you take into consideration when you craft a snack like this?
Absolutely. So not only are they individually packed and they're shelf stable, meaning that you can take them on the go. They don't need to be refrigerated, which sometimes as a parent, there's a lot of refrigerated products I love. But as you mentioned, you're on a road trip for a couple hours. What do you do with that? So that was first and foremost. And second, we wanted to make sure the portion size was correct. So we are 0.85 ounces. And the way our machine pushes it together, it's more dense. It looks a little smaller, but here's a huge benefit for that. And we hear from parents all the time. when their kids are in the back seat or in their car seat and they're eating it, it doesn't crumble and make a mess. And so from a portion control size, we wanted that perfect, hey, it's 3:30, your kids came home from school, your dinner's in an hour and a half, and they say they're hungry. This is a perfect snack to hold them over without filling them up. And then also on the go, we find, hey, you're going to go to soccer practice. You get a little bit of carbs, right? Maybe pair with a cheese stick, so a little bit of protein. And it's the perfect pre uh, pre-sport snack. And then obviously the lunchbox and going to school, exactly what you're looking for.
Now, with back to school season, you kind of just touched down on this. Parents have a lot to focus on, and there's a lot of details to hone in on. How do you feel Snack Kids helps parents simplify the snack planning process that comes with children?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So, as a parent myself, and understanding that there's no nuts allowed in school, one of the hardest things is finding a snack, one that my child enjoys, that doesn't include nuts. It's not made in a facility where there's nuts, so they're actually able to bring it to school and enjoy it. So that was first and foremost we wanted to make happen. And then two, as I mentioned, it's individually wrapped. It easily goes within the lunchbox, in the book bag. The kids enjoy it. They can do it for morning snack, afternoon snack. So it's just better for you, as clean, healthy ingredients, and the kids really love it. So it's a perfect go-to back to school snack.
Well, sounds fantastic. But that's all the time that we have for today. Steve Weiss of Snack Kids, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Brett, thank you again for having me on.
Absolutely. And thank you all for watching.